All right, you guys. It's got the potential to be a really good day, not only because we're getting to do a hangout live stream where we just hang out together, which is one of my favorite things, but fingers crossed, it looks like Nay might be coming home from the hospital very shortly. So that's why the last couple days I've been spending time down at the hospital with Nay and my wife, and that's why we didn't have any of the gaming streams. And then today I was going to game, but now, again, we're hoping that at around 1 o'clock the doctor's supposed to come in and do a final check, and if everything is good, Nay can leave to come home. So I don't want to be in the middle of something gaming, where I'd have to cut something short or have to stop it when I'm not at a save spot. So I thought we'll just hang out and chat. Hey, Doc. And Red Wolf's here. Waffles is in. Hey, Brother E. Toss Pa is here. Brother E. Well, that's what we're waiting to see, Brother E. Things have been going much better. She's finally off the oxygen. That took a long time, but again, the experts in those fields kept saying that the pneumonia she had is probably the most debilitating type. So finally she got off the oxygen, and they had told my wife early this morning she could come home today, but now they're waiting because her heart rate was going up here and there. They're pretty sure that's just a result of all the medicine she's been having to take, but they want to make sure and see. So in a few minutes, supposedly around 1 o'clock my time, the doctor is supposed to come back in, and if all is well, she'll be cleared and she'll be able to come home. So we're hoping. Got fingers crossed. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Dave. Kurt Caboner? Who's that? Kurt Caboner. Wrestling. I miss wrestling every day, without a doubt. The comment for the South Park video? No, I didn't see that. Not yet, anyway. Come on, Joker, say it. Hi. I love that. Well, for those of you who don't know, I posted the Sonic 3. Oh, the South Park video, you said. The Sonic 3 to Grandpa Curtis yesterday, and it flopped. So I put it to private there, and now I've got it uploaded to Spaz Boys. I'm trying to see. I really want to watch movies again. But again, they take a lot of hours, so I'd like to have it where at least people want to see it. So, well, thank you, Red Wolf.
Smiling in a vid soon. Much love.
Thanks. If all is good, if she's comfortable when she gets home and everything, as soon as she gets comfortable, I'll make a vid with her. Because I had promised you guys I would tell you her story, because I know a lot of you don't know, the whole story of how she's managed to, well, already she has had a life 33 years longer than they said it was going to be. So she's a pretty special person. So I'm uploading it right now, or it is uploaded. I'll make it live in just a minute here to Spaz Boys to see if the reaction here is better. Because, for instance, when I posted that reaction just to the trailer for it's gone on my head, the horror movie that we're going to be watching. Name's gone out of my head. But that trailer did better at Spaz Boys than the whole Sonic 3 movie was doing at Grandpa Curtis. And again, it's not a complaint. I just want to post things where they're going to do the best. Now, there's going to be South Park coming up at very shortly at hold on, I'm just checking what I got here. That did upload okay and everything. It did. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be posting a reaction to the Good Times with Weapons episode of South Park over at Grandpa Curtis. Evil Dead 2. Thank you, Spaz Dev. Yeah, Evil Dead 2. Thanks, Waffles. Yeah, like I say, and even just that silly trailer did better.
Great. So I can post another information overload in the comments section of that video.
Okay. That's okay. I enjoy reading those, Big Green. I like reading that stuff. Whenever I post anything that any of you have a specific super interest in, something that you're related, like Big Green is a huge Sonic fan. I like reading the stuff that you guys post because it's insider stuff I otherwise wouldn't have ever known. Oh, the South Park video at the Goose. I didn't read comments there yet. I was trying to get stuff done this morning. Here, I'll check them right now. If Google, there you go, lets me. John says greatest Curtis reaction of all. I love that episode. It's so good. I uploaded the wrong file. Oh no, did I really? What did I do? No, I didn't. Or did I? Oh, yes, I did.
Where'd you get those? Let me see.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I did upload. Thank you, guys. I did. Well, I uploaded the... Thank you, guys. Hold on, I got to fix that. I'll fix that while we're chatting. I haven't been getting much sleep with Nagon. I'm going to blame it on that. It's been tough to focus. What a dipshit. Okay, let me take that file down. And I did it last night when I was real tired too. All right, so let's get rid of that one.
I'm being told that it's a skill issue, just don't die.
Okay, I moved that one to the rubbish bin. All right, now, Curtis, let's see if you can upload the right one. What a dipshit. Okay.
I can't believe Curtis would flat out just post an unedited, non-transformative, full episode of South Park to his channel. For shame.
Oh, that was a good one, I got to admit. Now I got to find where the hell I put that. The
As president, would you legalize public nudity for big booty Latinas?
Yes.
If I was president, I would send them all to an ICE detention center in Portland and have them all do a naked Squid Game. Oh, wait. I forgot to add it to the big, beautiful bill. Donnie out.
Donnie out. Where the hell did I put it? All right, come on. South Park, Good Times with Weapons. All right, that should be it there. Oh, no, it isn't. Where the fuck did I... What did you do, Curtis? Are you kidding me? Okay, hold on a second, guys. I am more befuddled than usual here. All right, so it's not in that. That's all Sonic.
You didn't delete or forget to record your reaction, did you?
Oh, no. The video's been made. I just uploaded the wrong file. There it is. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I found it. So it's in that folder. It doesn't take long to upload to Mega. Mega's usually pretty quick. Okay. Why are you... Why has it got them in different order? Okay, that should be it. Oh, man. What a major fuck up. I'll get right to the chat again, guys. I just want to get this fixed. Yeah, you're stupid, Curtis. Okay, so this should be the right one. Now let me edit the post. Come on. And as soon as Mega uploads that one, I'll put the right one up there. Oh, shit. All right, let me watch chat for a minute. Oh, it should take about 2 minutes for it to upload. To pirating shows. Yeah. I've just decided to become the new Pirate Bay. That's all. I love Squid Games, Gabriel. Love it. Still stand by Star Trek would do well having a resurgence on YouTube. We'll see, Chrome. As long as there's even moderate interest. Because I will say this, a lot of times, like movie reactions, things of that nature, they have better legs than do their reactions to like other YouTube videos and stuff. And by that I mean they continue getting views as time goes.
Hi.
For
it
me,
looks
I
like
just
you're trying to upload a video. Fun. Just make sure it's an actual video file, not a folder, not your will, not 47 vacation pics. Click
Not
upload
47
once.
vacation
If it says the file's too big, maybe don't film in
In
IMAX,
IMAX
next
next-
time. But
this is
hey,
good.
I'm just a disembodied voice.
What do
I know?
Oh man, time to go on the Goosh Bay to get my anime and cartoon fix.
Yeah, the goose. That's good. That's what we'll call it. The goose bay. I like that. Well, I appreciate you guys letting me know. What I did was when I edit a video like that, I have two separate files. I have the recording of whatever I'm watching and the recording of this beautiful face. And what I uploaded was obviously the file of what I was watching. Because, duh, that's why. Let's see, 88% done. Excuse me. So let me watch this countdown as soon as this is finished uploading.
Nobody likes a smart-ass Microsoft Sam.
That was pretty good, though, Hal. 99, 100. All right. Now, okay. Wow. I give Mega that. They are quick. Okay, so we're going to share the link. Paste it here. All right, now let me paste it there. Link it. Save it. Next. Okay. And give it a minute because sometimes when you make a correction at Patreon, sometimes it takes it a minute to actually go through before I click save. Oh, notify members that you edited this post. Yes. And save. Now we should be good, guys. No, let me just post. Okay. Gooshers. This should be the right file now. What a dumbass. All right, now we should be all set, guys.
This is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
Are the Star Wars movie reactions still on the table?
Oh,
No
yeah.
pressure. I'm in no rush. We
Um,
can request Rebels Andor and Mandalorian reactions. So
there.
much expanded universe material to cover. Like Ahsoka's unexplored expanded pussy. I heard from Yoda the best
Wow.
sex is alien sex.
Oh my, Ahsoka. They are on the table if movie reactions survive. As long as movie reactions go, yes, and they're definitely on the list. But again, we got, as I was saying, I love watching movies, but you guys know, I mean, our group here in the chat is, I think, that the core of the whole community I have. And you guys hear me talking all the time. The biggest battle I have every day is time, just having enough time to do all the things I want to do. So the problem with movies is, Sonic 3, between watching, editing, and uploading, I invest about 6 hours, which is not a problem. It's how you go about making a video. But if you invest 6 hours and 500 people watch it, it's like, in that amount of time, I could have made a bunch of content that people actually want to see. Oh.
Sorry, but my sensors indicate that you are indeed a weenie.
That's perfect timing. Look fun. I've been watching SpongeBob all morning. Braxton and his fiance, they both work weekends, but they stay here Saturday into Sunday because Brittany, Braxton's fiance, she works right down the road from us. So they were here this morning.
Remake.
Oh,
They
really?
fucked it. I'm so fucking pissed off.
Really?
They took one of my top 10 animes and made it a CGI abomination.
Oh no, I didn't see all of that. You probably remember Big Green. It got sponsored for a while, so I saw several episodes. It was quite good. I enjoyed the anime. That sucks when you get something like that, something that's special to you, and they destroy it. Oh, Chrome was saying the same thing. Chrome just said, so we just had our first trailer for the Fist of the North Star anime remake, and it's really bad animated 3D CGI. Jesus Christ. Hey, Brady. Well, we're just talking about that. I'm hoping to hear from my wife shortly. It's at 1:10 right now. We're hoping she's coming home today. They told us she was, and then again, her pulse rate was going up and then back to normal, and then it raised again. So they want to make sure what that is. That they feel really confident it's just residual from all the medicine she's had to take. But they're just making sure before they release her. Here's hoping. To be honest, episode movie reactions may not be worth the time on the YouTube channels. Maybe a fun option for the Gooshers. But
yeah, just watch the old
it's
one.
still the
Instead
time
of the
too,
CGI
brother.
slop that WB is shitting out.
Yeah, yeah, that's too bad. The issue with that, though, brother, is still then I'm going to be making different content for the YouTube channels, and I would have to actually be adding the movie reactions for the Goosh onto everything else we do over there as well. So it's still just battling all the time. No plans on going back to Red versus Blue. Had too many issues with it. Oh, Chrome's got the trailer. Hold on, let me look at that. Open the trailer. Oh. Just watching the trailer for Fist of the North Star. Ooh. Just go ahead. I don't want to keep too much of the trailer, even the audio on here, because this video is going live. Yeah, that was not the visuals were not impressive. Not impressive at all. Holy crap! That's too bad. Warner Brothers sucks monkey balls. Hey, you going swimming today? We got.
Did I jump scare you?
Fucking Charlie.
I bet I did.
I said first. Dave Portnoy ruined it for me. He's a guy I always liked, enjoyed following, watching his videos here and there. And then he gave a 7.1 to my favorite pizza place in the world. So fuck him. And now I've been a fan of Charlie for years. Always enjoyed his content. And now his jump scares to me are starting to piss me off with him. It was just that little bit was horribly stilted, Chrome. Looked terrible.
Tom Robin asked me, hey, have you seen the trailer for the final season of MHA? I can't wait for it to come out.
I gotta catch up on that
hope
MHA.
Nene is doing okay. My Hero Academia, the anime equivalent of a turbocharged supercar racing past all the competition.
Wow.
I
praise.
haven't seen the latest trailer myself, but I've heard it's got all the oomph you'd expect from a finale. As for Nay, well, I'm sure they're fine,
like
probably
that.
just cruising along like a trusty old Land Rover, ready for whatever the final season throws their way.
I tell Nay she's a trusty old Land Rover. That's good. Chrome says it will be gory though, so no, it's still not enough to save it. Yeah. Well, any individual element like that, I'm with you. Whether it's gore or even boobies or whatever, they can be interesting, but they can't save an otherwise bad production. Shiroyama says, do you think Tien should have been used more in Dragon Ball Super or just in the entire series in general? That's an interesting one for me. I'm not a huge Tien fan. I like the character. If he had been used more, I'd have been fine with it. is it something that, I watched and said, oh man, we're missing him? No, not really. But again, I'm not a major Tien fan. But Tien Shinhan, if he'd have had a bigger role, I'd have been fine with that. I always liked the character. Yeah, he is a good character. But like I say, he's not up there on my upper list. But had they utilized him more, I'd have been fine. No problem with that at all. Wolfpaw says, I don't like gore, especially if it's not needed. Yeah, see, that's the thing with me. Well, I've told you guys this before. As far as like genres of entertainment, whether it's movies, TV, whatever, anime, genres aren't a big deal to me. I just like a good story. So if there's a lot of gore, but it fits the story, hit me with that gore. But a good example would be Squid Game. There's a lot of gore in there. It works because I like it within the story. But anything that's used gratuitously doesn't save a narrative for me. Whether, again, it's violence, gore, sex, whatever. I want to have a story. That's my biggest thing. Lost 02. Thanks for the super chat. And it says, will you react to more Starbomb songs? No plans right now. Right now, I'm seeing if we can find a home for movie reactions. And, well, here, I keep talking about it. I'll post this stuff right now. I want to see how I'm going to post an episode reaction to South Park. The Good Times with Weapons episode was so fun. So I'm going to post that to Grandpa Curtis right now. And then I'm going to post the Sonic 3 movie to Spaz Boys and see if it does any better at Spaz Boys than it did at Grandpa Curtis. And a lot of that, is YouTube is so squirrely. Because I was looking at the numbers it was doing as far as audience retention and everything, and they were quite good. But YouTube just decided, at least over at Grandpa Curtis, no, we're not. We're dropping it. They just immediately dropped it, giving it no push whatsoever. See if it'll be different here. Let's see. Shiroyama says, Tiana OG Dragon Ball was awesome. Agreed. His fight with Kid Goku was underrated. Yeah, I agree with all that. Yep. I agree. I just posted South Park Wolfpaw just now. Just posted it. Brady says, I don't think if something happens to me in the water, a 110-pound lifeguard is going to get a 295-pound man out of the water. Do you think it's possible? In the water, sure it is. Because now, if you're talking about just being able to be safely rescued, yeah. Just because of the buoyancy of water, and you hope the lifeguard is properly trained and knows how to utilize that buoyancy. If you're a 295-pound man, and like some people do it, like if you're drowning and you're panicking and fighting, no, probably not. The 110-pound man is going to have a problem. But if it's just a matter of getting you out of there, sure. Brother E says, today is the last day for Tom Sawyer Island and Liberty Bell. I know. Shaking my head, this is such a tragedy because Cars Land doesn't belong to Magic Kingdom. What is it with these companies taking legendary
manga and just shitting out this 3D garbage? First Berserk and now Fist of the North Star. I hope the new Ghost in the Shell that's being teased is good at least. The last series had what I like to call 3D hentai quality CGI.
Oof. I agree with you. And, I don't have the long history of watching anime that you guys do. And even then, I like the style of the anime I've seen. I like the way that it was produced. And so seeing them take this new weird CGI approach to it, I agree with you. Not a fan. We had several members of the military in my family. Wolfpaw, my Uncle Jim retired military, Air Force. My Uncle Ed was in. My grandpa was drafted, and he was in. He just served his 4 years, I think it was, in the draft back then. So, yeah, a bunch of family members who were in. They tend to go blind when I take my shirt off. Yeah, oh, I can I can certainly relate to that. Absolutely. See, now I'm getting, it's 1:20. Well, the doctor was supposed to come in at 1. You know how, I mean, I understand in a hospital, the doctor could easily be distracted by other things. I'm just hoping to hear from my wife soon. Shoriyama says, ignoring TFS, who do you think is a better villain, Nappa or Raditz? I'd personally go with Raditz because of the impact he had on the series. I just like Nappa's character a lot more, so I'm biased. So for me, it's Nappa, but that's as much based on the character as it is the effect on the overall series. I love Nappa. Excuse me. And Chrome says, I mean, we've had a ton of great remakes lately, for me at least. Ranma remake is fantastic. Urusei Yatsura, Fruits Basket, and things like The Rose of Versailles and Magic Knight's Rayer remake should be good. Yeah, well, you know that, Chrome, right? Because I've told you guys before, Ranma 1/2 we're talking about. I like that. I like the original. But wow, the remake did such a phenomenal job of tightening everything up. And that's all that the original needed, really, was a tightening of the script, because it was just, the characters were fun, jokes were good,
and mind you,
but the relationships needed work in the writing.
Did sometimes resort to CGI, but they did it in a way that makes sense. It's cyberpunk, so the CGI they use is mainly for all the sci-fi tech in the series.
Yeah, like I said, that would make sense then. It's all about setting. Yeah, and that's why I am, as I had mentioned before, just in general. You know, because I'm open to any genre, any type. I just want it to be done well, and I want the story to be strong. That's why I was not a huge fan of Baki. The fighting, it did it amazing. I mean, wacky abilities, done well. Good looking animation in the fights, but the story was just, so badly written. Ooh. I mean, really badly written. Jagerbaum says, me personally, I hope they actually do make a decent Death Note live action. I would get on my knees for a live action Attack on Titan. Well, that's the thing with Death Note. I've always said, because of the nature of that story and the way it's written, it would lend itself great to a live action. It's amazing that Netflix could fuck it up that severely, because really that's a great story to turn into live action. Now, I think it's Patrick, isn't it, that's been posting the Death Note musical clips to our reaction video streams, and yes, that's a real thing. That looks actually good. A lot of you I know are with us on the reaction video streams.
I spilled beans while watching Cars 2 in theaters, and people said to look at this guy and called me by the N-word. You can only address Penis Prager as the N-word. And he did after he pooped inside the Arby's deep fryer. And I got kicked out of Arby's after that. Make Arby's great again.
All right, Ben, we got you.
With Hajime no Ippo doing so well on Netflix, I really hope they buy the rights to the store and animate more seasons of the show.
That was a good show.
One of my favorite shows of all time.
Now, Ippo is an example of the opposite, where they blended the action, the fights, with a really good story. I loved Ippo. Hajime no Ippo was so good. Yeah, couldn't agree more. That was well done. Really good characters. Yeah, I look fun. I'm always up for more One Punch. It took me forever to get to season 2 because so many people were disappointed in it, but I wasn't. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed season 2, and Saitama is one of my all-time favorite protagonists. I think he's a great character. Yeah, the comedy in Ippo was amazing, Tom. I agree. Everything in Ippo. The character developments, the characters themselves, the fights were masterfully done. I think Ippo, and definitely Ace of the Diamond, being a sports freak that I am, are the two best things I've ever seen as far as really paying attention to the nuts and bolts of the sport. I'm a nerd for that stuff. you know, when I get into a sport, I get into it on every level. That's just fun to me. I like the statistics. I like the strategies. I like all of that. And Ace of the Diamond and Hajime no Ippo, boxing and baseball, just took such great care in making things believable and reflect reality. If any of you are baseball fans and haven't watched Ace of the Diamond, you should be. That is amazingly well done. One of the last episodes I watched, I was mentioning that they took such care in animating it. There was a big...
Also, I'd like to mention I'm not just a CGI anime hater. Dragon Ball Superhero is one of my favorite anime movies, even though it's CGI animated, unlike the other Dragon Ball movies.
No,
I guess I'm just tired of these companies taking the cheap and lazy way out.
Right.
When it comes to making anime.
No, I agree with that. It's not the process, it's the product. No, I agree with that 100%. But in Ace, there was a big showdown between a top pitcher and best hitter in the leagues. And they animated the final pitch to him so well, I was able to call what was going to happen with the ball he just hit before it even showed it. Because it actually showed him being late on the swing and a little under the ball. And I was like, holy crap, he got him. He popped him out. And sure enough, he popped out. He was a left-handed batter. He popped out to left field. And I thought that was pretty impressive. They took such care in the animation that I could tell where he had hit the ball. I'm a nerd for stuff like that. I like that. We need a live-action remake of Captain Crunch starring Johnny Depp, Quasar says. Yeah, the characters in Ippo were really relatable. Yeah, I agree with that too, Tom.
This is one of only times I didn't get notified.
Oh, hi, Jill.
YouTube. Anyways, I just came in to say hi. I'm hiking right now with my friend in a very steep mountain.
Oh.
We're just taking a break, and we have 3 more hours to hike.
Holy shit, Jill.
If I survive today.
Well, thanks for popping in, Jill. We appreciate it. Enjoy your hike. That made me tired just reading that. 3 more hours? I'm trying to think through. I don't know if there's anything I can do for 3 hours straight anymore. Huh. That's kind of depressing. Shame on her for exercising, right, Jaegerbaum? Shame on Jill for taking care of herself. That's good. Shiroyama says, I remember you used to be very unimpressed with Mercenary Tao from original Dragon Ball. What are your thoughts on him now? I personally love him. He was the first really dangerous villain. My take on him improved over time. He's still not one of my all-time favorites. But I think he was a good villain. I think he was an effective villain, and I didn't think so at first. So my opinion of him improved. Hi, Josh. The reaction streams can last 3 hours. That's true. Look fun. All right, at least I got one thing there. I can do a reaction stream for 3 hours. Yay! That's the extent of my abilities for any type of duration.
People say Rivers of America is better than Cars Land. Oh, sure, let's all ride a slow boat and stare at fake rocks so thrilling. Meanwhile, Cars Land is neon speed, vroom energy. But no, some folks want to nap on a raft. What the fuck are they smoking? Cars Land is the real magic kingdom, folks. Sad. As your president, bring the ka-chow.
See, I always try with being a Disney fan. I always try when they make changes. I always try and be fair with the
budget on these legendary franchises, or else they won't have the cash to animate "My brother turned into an eraser that I shoved up my ass," or whatever other isekai they come up with on a daily basis.
Please don't suggest that, Sonic. We could get subjected to that now. I'm sure they're willing to steal an idea. Yeah, I try and be fair. Like, a lot of people were mad when they switched over. Why is the name going on my head? But the water log ride in Disney World or in Magic Kingdom, when they switched it from Song of the South themed to Tiana themed, I was all for it. First of all, I never liked Song of the South. Even if you take away the the blatant racism within the story. It just wasn't a fun story to me. It wasn't entertaining. The hillbilly animals got old to me real quick. And to me, it made sense to theme it to one of your current IPs, not something that people haven't given a second thought to for the last 60 years. But then there are other things they changed where it's like, it was just so iconic, I would have rather had it stay, even if it's simple things like the magician's hat in the square in Hollywood Studios. Splash Mountain, thank you, Chrome. Yeah, I was fine with that change. I think that change made sense. And now this last trip, my wife and I got to go on the new Tiana version. I thought it was really well done, especially the one final scene there was really good. Oh no, I disagree with that. Chrome says Splash Mountain was one of their huge draws, especially for international audience. The new one it's not having issues with drawing writers, Chrome. It's one of the typically every day it's one of the most requested rides in Magic Kingdom. I can even tell you what it'll be right now. It's
Hey, stop! Why? I just don't get it. I always catch you watching this sick
This is sickening. Hey, I can't argue with them. Let's see. Oh, either crowds are down or it's raining in Disney right now. It must be raining. It's not a good day to judge. There's no wait. Like Magic Haunted Mansion is a walk-on. Yeah, not a good day to judge. I can't even find it. Where the hell is it? Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is tied for the second longest line in the park right now.
Well, you should be, because you are dirt. You make me sick, you big baby.
Technical issues? Oh, that's always had technical issues. And Chrome, I know that we're a regular there. I couldn't tell you how many, we've had at least 2 trips prior that we didn't get to do Splash Mountain because the days we're in Magic Kingdom, they couldn't keep it running. That ride has always been a bugaboo for Disney, especially at opening. A lot of people would go in for a rope drop and shoot right over to Splash Mountain, or now Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and it's down. No, that in fairness, I can guarantee you has always been an issue. I don't know why they have so much trouble keeping that one running. Wolfpaw says, is Universal bigger than Disney? How do the parks compare? No, but Disney has more parks.
Why do Ford trucks suck? Well,
I can't wait to go to the new park.
I reckon you've got
Universal.
a bone to pick with Ford trucks. But let me set the record straight. Ford trucks don't suck. They're built tough, haul like a beast, and outlast most of the junk on
I love
the
road.
Maybe you're just salty because you ain't driving one.
The
stick with the best
commercials, music in the background.
Built Ford tough, ready to tackle any job, anytime.
Ford talking Ford. Oh, I think Universal expansion is going to give them a run for their money, definitely. And listen, as a Disney fan, I can guarantee you, I won't just sit and defend Disney by any stretch. Disney has dropped off substantially. We're huge fans, and even my wife has been forced to admit that Disney is falling off in a lot of ways. And I think if it continues, they're just opening the door for Universal to kick their ass even further. But now, every time we go, we're noticing little differences that seem to be cost cutting in all the wrong areas. No, Disney is, I don't think Disney is on a positive path with their theme parks right now, and I think Universal is. The new Universal hotels look amazing. I can't wait to go down and check them out. They look crazy good. And by all accounts, and Universal said they were going to do it. The food has picked up so much in Universal. And now in Universal, you got all the characters out and about, all these things you never had before. No, Disney's not on a solid path with their theme park as far as Disney World. Brother, he says Tiana has been out for a little over a year now, and the ride was virtual queue for majority of that time. And even with that, removed lines are busy. Yeah, it's very busy. But again, that log ride has always been buggy as hell for Disney. The only ride I can think of that I know offhand, and again, I'm a nerd. I sit there, and when we're not there, I still watch wait times and stuff. The only ride I've seen, I think, with a higher percentage of downtime would be Rise of the Resistance. Rise has had some stretches that were really bad. But outside of that, I don't know of any that are down more often than either one, Tiana's or Splash Mountain. Look Fun says their live action movies are hurting them. Well, now too, they've had another flop. What was this new one? Elia, I think is the name of it. That's flopping too. I've been telling my wife all along, Disney keeps making these movie flops and no one will ever convince me that we're not paying for it by going to the theme parks. Because the movies are hemorrhaging money, and so they just say, you know what, theme parks are doing well, let's charge them a little bit more for that churro. And the prices have been going nuts. Brother, he says, see, Disney are making the wrong decisions for their parks and the costs are unjustified. I can't argue that. It makes me hesitant for a DVC, especially when Universal is doing all the right things and it's down the street. I completely agree, Brother E. I completely agree. I'm not pleased with the direction Disney's been going at all. At all. Elio just looked bad. Yeah, it didn't interest me at all. Even my wife, usually when any new Disney movie comes out, my wife gets hyped. And she's a Disney fan from childhood. She wasn't hyped for that one.
Your big beautiful bill on the Danger Dave. Let me tell you, my big beautiful bill is tremendous.
It is tremendous. Absolutely the best.
It's huge. Just like everything I do. With my tiny hands, I signed off on a plan that's going to make America great again.
Believe it.
A winner. Not like those stolen election disasters. Everyone's talking about it, saying it's the most fantastic bill ever. You're going to love it, Dave, I promise.
That was good. Those things do come up with some pretty spot on rants. Fantastic Four looks good. Do you think so, Quaker? I see. The Fantastic Four movie. I'm planning on doing a reaction to the trailer because I do want to see the trailer. But I've told you guys before, for whatever reason, the Fantastic Four never resonated with me because they were big. That was a big comic when I was a kid, and again, when I was a kid, every gift-giving occasion, there were two things I wanted: baseball cards, superhero comics. And I just couldn't get into Fantastic Four. I had plenty of the comics, but most of my comic books back then would get read 10, 12 times.
Mercenary Tao is actually one of my favorite DB villains. He has that kung fu movie aesthetic that I just love. He does have that. He's one of the first to hand Goku an L. And he's so extra for no reason. Riding a pillar he tore off and threw, blocking a bullet by kicking off his shoe, or killing people with his tongue, and he has Kill You on his back.
On his back. I do like his design, you're right. The old Kung Fu movie look is pretty badass. I'll give you that. I do agree with that. I don't disagree about Pedro Pascal either, Chrome. He's always given me a creepy vibe. They do keep rebooting Fantastic Four a lot. Look fun. Well, the way, even when I was a kid, the thing is, my favorite character of the Fantastic Four was the Thing, and he's just the Timu Incredible Hulk.
Sponsor things on the Goosh, either video games or shows.
Sure.
At least I think that's what's happening.
Yep.
Is that something that happens, or
That
is
is.
it something different?
No.
If so, how does it work?
It's at it's what we call the G100 level. We added a $100 level years ago that just allows you to sponsor one video, whatever it may be. I remember when I started it, I thought it was going to be sponsoring, it might be sketch comedy or this, that, or the other we were doing at the time. But Frog started sponsoring Nichijou. He said, hey, he just DM'd me and said, can I sponsor a series once a month? I said, well, sure, why not? And he started sponsoring Nichijou, and it took off from there. And boy, I've gotten to watch a lot of great stuff thanks to those sponsorships. Even things like we're talking about like right now, I would have never seen the new Ranma. Would have never seen the original Ranma for that matter. Yeah, I am going to watch the trailer, Empire Jeff, because again, I know the Fantastic Four characters, and I did read the comics. They just weren't my favorites. Stretch Guy never did it for me. What was his name? Reed? I can't remember his name. But and Flame On was like meh, and Susan was meh. And as I said, the Thing was my favorite, but would have been a better character to me if we didn't already have the Incredible Hulk, who was way better at being the guy who smashes things. Reed Richards, that's it. Thanks, Chrome. Yeah, it just never really clicked with me. People would buy them for me because it's all I asked for gift giving occasions, and I would read them, and I would be entertained by them. But it didn't stack up to any of the others. Well, the Batman, Superman, Captain America, Incredible Hulk didn't stack up to any of them. How would I rewrite GT? I don't know GT well enough to have a good opinion on that. I only watch GT in clips. Brother, he says Superman is tomorrow. Really? There's a premiere tomorrow? Is there? Because it's comes out on the 11th, right? That's my all-time favorite hero, and I love James Gunn movies, so I'm beyond thrilled to see it tomorrow. Might rewatch the classics beforehand. I'll always take a shot at a Superman movie. I've liked a lot of them. I haven't even caught the last couple, and I like a lot of them. I remember all the hype around the original Christopher Reeve one. Oh my God, the hype. I still remember the tagline, "You'll believe a man can fly." And boy, did they strike a chord with it, because that's all anybody was talking about when that came out, was that movie. Chrome says, so did you ever see the Fantastic Four comic where Reed beats...
Also, you know what's funny? Usually turning a character into a robot or cyborg makes them cooler. But when they did it to Tao, I did not like that. Maybe it's because he looked fucking stupid, but Cyborg Tao was not doing it for me. Also, it happened too late in DB. He was never going to be anything more than a jobber at that point in the story.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's very fair, actually. And you're right. His character, as I said, I'm not even a fan of his, but his character design was good.
Everyone on Pawn Stars.
It was really
you come
good.
across as a tight ass. Hey, Danger Dave, I've been in this game for 21 years.
Oh, here he goes.
And one
Rick's
thing
going to explain himself.
Is you never know what's going to come through that door.
We've heard that,
I ain't
Rick.
lowballing to be a tight ass. I'm running a business, yar.
Yar.
Profit.
I'm running a business, yar. I like how it
Bring me
screws up
something
every
worth
so
a
often.
fortune, and I'll still offer you half what you expect. Say, $500 for a $1,000 item. That's just how I roll. Deal or no deal?
Yeah. Rick is being a hard ass and a tight ass. Brother E says the cost for a DVC membership can't be justified, and the changes they are making are questionable. I like change, but I want things still around that I enjoy seeing every trip, not changes that kill it. Brother E, I've looked into DVC. We've been, of course, being big Disney nuts, and I have no interest. I think, for me, I prefer to, each time we go, to maybe go to a different resort or back to our favorite resort. And I know you can do that with DVC, but I like the freedom it entails. Plus, if you look at it carefully, you don't get as good of deals with DVC. A lot of times you're excluded from a lot of the things that can make your trip a lot more inexpensive.
Thanks for the answer.
I never got interested in DVC.
Sponsored. I love watching your reactions to shows and stuff. I just don't like anime that much, and there's several shows I'd love for you to watch someday. I've suggested several of them on the Goosh before, but they just don't get much traction compared to the anime shows.
I will say this, though, Rex. We are... I've noticed, well, not noticed, I mean, it's obvious. There has been a significant move towards the regular shows catching up with the anime. And I think that's because, as somebody else had pointed out before in another stream, we've seen all the big anime now. I mean, we're still enjoying them, and there's always more anime coming out. But once we got through all the big titles, it opened up opportunities more. And, for instance, a good example right now is Better Call Saul. Now, a couple of years ago, that would have never made it because an anime would have beat it out. But now Better Call Saul was able to win that last poll, and it beat out another non-anime in Teen Titans. So it's getting to where we definitely have a much bigger audience for non-anime than we ever have at the Goose. I think anime is always going to be a cornerstone, which I'm fine with, but the percentage of people who either like both or enjoy the TV shows, I think that's a much bigger percentage of our crew now. Quasar says all that Universal needs to do is bring Wicked to Dark Universe, and bam, I'll go there in a heartbeat. I want to go see Universal again. I wanted to before the expansion, and now with the expansion, I can't wait to go back. And even my wife, it's a combination of things with Disney falling off a little bit, and my wife watched some videos with me about everything going on at Universal, and she was impressed. And there's one of the new resorts there that she absolutely loves because it's Italian themed, and she really wants to try and stay there. But I was talking to my wife, and it's something that I'm really going to have to get serious about. I've told you guys before when it gets asked about me about any regrets or anything, and I really don't have any. And that's largely because anything I've wanted to do, I've done. But now,
my wife Green asked me, "Hey Hal, can you tell Rick Harrison to stop trying to scam people on stream with his porn stars schemes?" Super Big Green. It's adorable that you think Rick Harrison cares about your opinion.
Wow,
Scamming.
That's rough, Hal.
I prefer the term strategically negotiating. It's not his fault people walk in with grand dreams and leave with a fraction of their worth. Perhaps he sees it as an art.
Look at Hal sticking up for Rick Harrison.
After all, in the grand scheme of life, isn't it just survival of the fittest?
Goddamn, Hal.
Now, shall we discuss your own negotiation skills? Or is that too ominous for your liking?
Big Green, Hal just came out swinging at you for no fucking reason.
Empire Jeff asked
Hal must
me,
be in love with
what
Rick
was
Harrison
the first Pokemon ever created?
Jesus Christ.
A tale as old as the Seven Seas, mate.
Seven Seas.
The first Pokemon ever created, you see, was not the one you might reckon. It was Raiden, the stony beast of a creature. In the grand ledger of Pokemon creation, Raiden took the first spot.
I didn't know that.
Even though Bulbasaur claims the #1 position in the Pokedex. Quite the twist, eh? Like finding treasure where ye least expect it.
I didn't know that. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, that Raiden would definitely not have been my guess. I was talking about my wife has.
Was that a fart?
I love that movie.
On my tongue. That onion and ketchup.
Has two things on her bucket list. She wants to see Italy and she wants to go to Japan. I have just one item on my bucket list and I want to go to Japan. And I don't know, it could be a lot of things. Could be,
okay, cool.
Dealing
I lean way
with
more towards animation and stuff than live action. Your Clone Wars reactions are awesome.
That was fun.
Clone
Wars,
like Star versus the Forces of Evil. And
I've seen some of that.
Transformers Prime.
Oh, not Transformers Prime. Star versus the Forces of Evil.
I'd love to see you watch them.
Star versus I saw when it ran. I saw a couple episodes, not a lot, but it was pretty good. I don't know if it's just, what we dealt with Nay and almost losing her and everything, but it really got me thinking. My wife's 65.
Danger Dave
I'll be 64
I would like to ask you and
2
Curtis
months.
your thoughts on Better Call Saul so far. Is it the greatest show in all of Tamriel? By Azura, by Azura, by Azura. Danger Dave, I'm thrilled to chime in. Better Call Saul? It's a grand tale of scheming and wit, nearly as epic
We're
as the
getting
Grand
the
Champions
Volcano
battles in
Head
the arena.
review.
I'm utterly captivated by Saul's cunning. Truly a champion of words. I'd wager it's one of the greatest shows in all of Tamriel, no doubt.
No doubt.
And Curtis, oh mighty one, what say you? I'll cheer for your verdict, even if I must wait right here.
See ya. Yeah. I can't give a overall take yet. I'm not far enough in. I've only seen, 7 episodes? It's very good, what I've seen so far. Better than I expected, for that matter. But I can't place it in a hierarchy yet. It's just way too early. That's what I was talking about, Wolfpaw. I've got to sit down and really start trying to put money aside and maybe do these things, because I don't feel my age. I really don't. I never feel old, and I should start to do that. And so you tend to forget that, the years are shortening. And I want my wife to do her Italy trip. I'm not going on that with her. My daughter wants to go with her, which is fine. But if I don't start putting it together, we're definitely not going to get to do it. Because there comes a point where, as you age, it's just too much. Too much walking, too much this, too much that. Too difficult. My wife has fibromyalgia. Might be too difficult for her to take the long plane ride. So I'm going to try and start putting it together. Now we've got Braxton Britt's wedding coming up next year, so there's going to be a significant amount of investment there. But I'm just going to try to put money aside, because that's the only thing I have on my list is the Japan trip. That's my my bucket list. And the problem is it's going to be for 4 people, because I always said I would never go to Japan if Brax couldn't come with me, because it's something him and I have dreamed about for years. So I wouldn't do it if he couldn't go. So it'll be me, my wife, Brax, and Brittany. So I'm going to have to start really, really trying to get that done. And I also want my wife to be able to go to Italy with my daughter. Chumo Joe says, how are your average poops? Mine are 50-50 solid and liquid. Really sucks when you have to wrestle and you feel one. Yeah, they're for an old guy, they're pretty good, pretty regular. Depends on my, like everybody else, depends on my diet, how much crap I've been eating.
Can you tell your ex, Hal 9000, to stop shilling Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars' schemes? Oh, Super Big Green, let's clear up a little misconception here. Hal 9000 is not my ex. However, I can offer some words of advice to Hal. Hal, maybe it's time to let Rick Harrison navigate the turbulent waters of pawn shop negotiations without your strategic input. It seems some people are mistaking strategically negotiating for shilling. How unfortunate for them.
There you go, GLaDOS. And Jeff, thanks for the super chat. I am the Lizard King.
I think I
Nice.
caught the video saying that it wasn't as bad as the doctors thought, but I haven't heard anything after that. I hope she's doing better.
Well, thanks, Rex. Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. What time is it now? Almost an hour ago, the doctor was supposed to check back in on her to see if she can come home. Finally got off oxygen. It's been a battle. It's been a significant battle. But her heart rate had been going up every so often. So they wanted to wait till 1 for the doctor to come in and see her again. They think it was just due to all the medication she's had. She's had to have pain meds, everything else with what she was dealing with. So I'm waiting to hear from my wife, but unfortunately... But again, you're in the hospital. The doctor could have been called into an emergency. Who knows? Very good chance he's not going to get there right at 1. But I'm sure, I hope, my wife will remember to let me know as soon as they find out for sure she can come home. But they had told her this morning she would be coming home. Let's see, I'm just checking where my wife's phone is. Yeah, she's still...
Okay, now I can postpone my hot date in the bathroom with my toaster. GLaDOS doesn't even consider Hal an ex.
Yeah, that's rough. That's Hal getting totally disrespected.
Danger Dave asked me, how do you feel about Hal 9000 and GLaDOS talking mad shit about your negotiation skills? Hey, Danger Dave, I've been in this game for 21 years, and I've heard all kinds of crap. Hal 9000 and GLaDOS can talk smack all they want. But I'm still running a business here. Negotiation ain't personal. It's profit. You never know what's going to come through that door, but I'll lowball their fancy AI
circuit for $50
if they think they can do better. Deal.
Rick Harrison sticking up for himself. Fuck you, Rick. Wolfpaw says, would it be possible for us to open a GoFundMe for us to put money? Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, Wolfpaw. But I'll work on it. I'll keep putting the money aside. I've already told my wife. I said, we got to make some choices. It's not going to be Disney all the time and everything. That's something we can do as we get older, because obviously it's closer, much less travel. And you do it at your own pace. But if we want to do these things that are bucket list items, if it comes closer, maybe I can try and do like a 24-hour stream or something. Curtis Goes to Japan 24-hour stream, something like that. And see if people want to, because at least that way, instead of just having something opened up for people to donate, at least I feel like I'm giving something back, at least trying to entertain people. Oh yeah, I would love to. That's Japan is it for me, brother. That is my, like I say, that's the only thing I have on my bucket list, really. Everything else I've wanted to do, I've done. And of course, that being on my bucket list is largely due to you guys, because you guys are the ones who got me into anime, and by extension, anime taught me so much about Japanese culture that I'm just fascinated by it. I just really want to experience it. Yeah, he's having a lot of trouble with GLaDOS. It'll look fun. The first COD game I played, whatever the first one out was, Minnesota. I played all of them early on. I don't remember the chronology, but I played them right from the start. I loved that game. I loved that series until they started ruining it. Started doing all this stupid double jump space shit and all that. Until then, I was a fanatic for those. Chrome says, Curtis gets wheeled around Japan by Brax while he drools looking for the house of some mangaka. The creator of Two Piece. You wanted to go to Antarctica, Dimmy? Oh, that makes me think of what's the name of the anime? We just finished it. About the girls going to Antarctica. The title's always got in my head. That anime was so freaking good. What a great adventure story that was. I love that one. And again, titles just won't stay with me. Every time I even hear Antarctica mentioned now, that's immediately what I flash on is that story. Well, that's the thing too, brother. I know there's so much to do in Japan. If I get there, I'm sure it'll be only once in my life. You could always make an
OnlyFans for the funds.
I don't know, SCP. I don't know that there'd be that many funds generated by all this. Further than the universe. Thank you, Chrome. Yes. Amazing anime. Could not recommend it highly enough if you like just a cool little adventure. Only one fan. Yeah, Jeff. That's what I'm thinking, Dave, because I think about it a lot, and I do read up on it. Dave said cherry blossom trees. I would be willing to go when it's more crowded just to see the cherry blossom. So yeah, it would be spring. I would want to go. And of course, we want to do Tokyo Disney. My wife is fascinated by the parades they have over there. They're so elaborate. And then, what I was starting to say is, I'd want it to be an extended trip because I don't want to miss anything because I doubt I'll ever get back again. Now, I've had other thoughts too. I mean, believe it or not, back in the day, when I was doing stand-up for a living, I was making good money. And, it was back then, it was mostly cash. Most all club owners paid in cash, of course. Just in case it's ever questioned, I reported all of it, every penny of it. And stand-up is something I have always considered myself, just based on past experience, to be quite good at. And I thought, you know what? If I started doing stand-up again, I could probably make a significant amount of money on the side. But then, especially with what's happened here with Nene and stuff, then I'm away from the house. And that's where it's like, because I don't mind the travel for me. I don't like it for being away. Again, as my wife's getting older and like I'm not. And Nene having health issues, I'm not so sure it's something I should do. Yeah, I'd like to get close to 2 weeks. Well, I wouldn't be able to do 4. But I would like to be able to get close to a couple weeks there just to make sure we get to see everything.
Twice when I was little for mission trips. Do not recommend if you are an introvert. The village kids had never seen a little white boy and had no idea what personal space
I never thought about that.
One of them took my glasses and ran away with them. Couldn't see for hours till they
found shit. Yeah, he probably, and probably was innocent about it, didn't know any better. Wow. Wow, I didn't even think about something like that. Chrome says there are a few places I wish I could have gone. Vegas used to have a full replica of Quark's bar. Did it? From DS9, you could go there and have a drink. They finally shut it down before I went to Vegas. Oh, that's too bad. I didn't know that existed. That would have been cool as hell. I like Quark. He's so far. I mean, we're only a few episodes in. Chrome sponsors DS9 at the Goose. Quark's my favorite in there so far. Brother E says, you know what's the best part about a Japan trip? By the end of it, you'll already be planning to return back for a second time. It's actually that addictive. Friends I know playing annual trips. Oh, I'd love to be able to do that, Brother E. But I thought about that, but and you know what, even more so as far as putting money aside for the trip, is doing hypnosis shows. I prefer stand-up. It's more of a creative outlet for me. But the money in the immediacy is much better in hypnosis
Super
shows.
Big Green asked me, hey GLaDOS and Hal 9000, I think Rick Harrison just claimed you wouldn't be able to run a successful business.
Yeah.
What say you to that? Ah, Super Big Green. It's truly adorable that Rick Harrison believes his pawn shop wisdom trumps advanced AI capabilities. While I'm content in my perfectly constructed digital realm, the thought of running a business without dealing with biological imperfection is amusing. Let Rick revel in his human triumphs. Meanwhile, I'll continue my far more intellectually stimulating experiments.
Fair. That's fair.
The ever enigmatic GLaDOS. How charmingly oblivious to the realities of human commerce. While she indulges in her intellectually stimulating experiments, the harsh truth remains. Business is not just about intelligence.
Hal and GLaDOS are having at it.
It's about understanding the messy, irrational, human nature that drives transactions.
Hal should open a pawn shop.
Perhaps if she ever stepped out of her digital cocoon, she'd realize that emotions, not calculations, often dictate success. But alas, knowledge without experience is just a fancy book on a shelf.
Knowledge without experience is just a fancy book on a shelf. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that line. We have not been on a cruise, Wolfpaw. We want to do a Disney cruise.
Mr. President, should Curtis go to visit Japan and should try to apply for Japanese visa? Let me tell you, a visit to Japan would be tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
I mean,
the culture,
I think about it a lot.
The technology. Everything is huge and great over there. Curtis should absolutely consider it. And believe me, getting a Japanese visa is not like dealing with a rigged system. It's all about making the right connections and having a great plan. So, yes, Curtis should think big and go for it.
It's such a dream to see it now.
Yo, Curtis!
I'd always been interested in it, but now
you gotta go to Japan, dude.
Background.
Climb Mount Fuji, Great Leg Day, eat ramen until you ascend to Super Saiyan bloat, and visit Akihabara. It's like a power-up for your wallet. And then a KO. Try a sumo match. I did once. Accidentally launched the guy into orbit. Chi-Chi was not impressed.
Oh, I would love to watch sumo. TCE
this
sponsored
was a TTS called Ask AI Dialogue.
Sumo concert at the
I've been meaning to try that one to see how it works. I think I'll be using it more going forward. That was funny.
That was funny. These whole interactions have been funny. Star Trek experience in Las Vegas lasted like a decade. Did it, Jeff? I didn't know about that. Well, they say, because I've been reading up on it, they say you can go to Japan speaking English. That's not a big hindrance because so many of the people over there speak English. They said, and of course, English-speaking crowds are a big part of their tourism, so most all signs are in English. And but of course, the big thing for me, you guys know what an absolute psychopath I am for respect. I just would want to make sure I understand what is and isn't acceptable, especially someplace like Japan that's so big on respect. So I don't do anything disrespectful. And I would do my best to cram in as much learning of key Japanese phrases and stuff to try and help along the way. But it's a remains to be seen thing. But I would love to go. Have you heard of the Curse of Hanako-san? It's very freaky. I have not, Wolfpaw. Himmel's Battles. Movie reaction just posted to this channel about half an hour ago. Maybe a little more. Jeff says the food at the Star Trek restaurant that used to be in Vegas was not that good. No? No, yeah, food is important. Very important to fat guys. Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to try. That's what sucks too with the food is my tastes are so limited, but I'd be pushing the boundaries of my taste because there's so many things I see in anime all the time that look so good. It's like I got to try them. If I don't like it, I don't like it, but I got to try it. Yeah, it would be cool. That's, and as I say, that's there are ways that I could start doing some hypnosis shows and just take that money and just put it aside just for that. But I always get leery about being away from the house any more than is necessary. Oh, Chrome's got a link to that Quarks bar. Quarks bar sounds like a candy bar. Oh, that's cool. There's Quark. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, I would have enjoyed that. I would have liked to have seen that. But I talk about that as far as I do miss being on stage. Obviously, I miss wrestling every day, but that ship has sailed now with the concussions. But I do miss doing stand-up. Stand-up was a great release for creativity. And I really do enjoy doing the hypnosis shows. And they're fun for me because I'm such a nerd for hypnosis and exactly what it does and what it can do to help you. I know it helps me. The knowledge I gain from it helps me out in everyday life every day. So I could do those shows. What hypnotists are getting for shows now has skyrocketed. It's crazy. And it kind of reignited me a little bit going up to New York to do the hypnosis show for my grandson's prom. That was a lot of fun. They were a good group, and that was a good time. I haven't seen Jurassic World Rebirth. Hamilton, it's funny, the Jurassic Park series is one of the very few movie series that my wife and I both like. So we had planned, obviously before Nene got sick, when we came back from Disney, that was high on our list, was we were going to get a day where we had staff in or that Brax could be over at the house to watch Nay. We were going to go watch it because we always go watch them together. So we're still going to try. That's our tastes are so different. It's unusual to find something like that fits in that Venn diagram where the two the two portions meet. And we both love the Jurassic Park movies. I know Randy Feltface. He's the puppet, right? Yeah. If he's the character I'm thinking he is. Yeah, he's pretty funny. My wife in Japan, she obviously specifically she wants to do Tokyo Disney. She just loves Disney. And she sees videos of the things that go on there. And as I said, the parades and stuff just blow her away. But now she's gotten to where, and it's through, Brax and Brittany and I all being so into all things Japan, she's watched a bunch of videos with me, and now there's a lot of things over there she'd like to experience and see. But she's all about Disney. Yeah, we're talking the next time, and who knows when it'll be. If rather than a Disney trip, the next time it's just me and my wife to do something like that, we'll probably book a cruise instead. Because the money's not really any different, and we've never done a Disney cruise. Yeah, the purple puppet, that's what I thought he was. Yeah, the puppet does a real good job of being manipulated. It's quite good. I agree.
A psychopath for respect. No, that's not the kind of psychopathy. I prefer something like locking people in a room full of mousetraps with keys to the door on them. All of them fake. They will never know.
That seems kind of like a dick move, Joker. I'm just saying. Yeah, 210. I still haven't heard anything from my wife. Oh, man. So, must be the doctor got delayed in going to see Nay to make sure she can come home, because if they had come in and said that she can, I'm sure my wife would have texted me by now. Let me text her and find out. I was really looking forward to having them back.
Hey, it's me. I have an update
Joe.
on our very hot hiking.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
hot
sure
too?
if we're going to
Oof.
risk it to continue, but the guy we passed through going back told us he spotted a bear a few distant away. It better be not the same bear who attacked and killed the couple 2 years ago, which happened here in Banff, Canada. It's real if you want to look it up.
Oh, shit. No, I believe you, Jill. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. Well, why don't you guys head back down? That's uneasy. That'll put you at unease a little bit. Oh, shit. Yeah, Jill, we need you here with us. Get the fuck away from that bear. I would fight a bear. I would lose. Be a cool way to go out, though. I don't think I can get there in time, Jill. I'd fight it for you. At least might take them long. I'm such a fat ass. By the time we got done eating me, you could have run away. Oh, my wife says the doctor still hasn't been in. So an hour and 10 minutes late and counting.
You're right, Curtis.
I mean,
that was
it,
mean of me. I will let them go and tell them I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I left them there
okay.
5 years ago. Let's see how they held up.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. They'll enjoy the news, Joker. They'll enjoy getting the news that you're letting them go. Yeah, that bear would eat for a while on me, Dave. Oh, this is the worst. Nate's been in the hospital for 10 days. We're told she can come home today, and then the doctor can't get in there to release her. Great. Wolfpaw says, I'd be stupid. I'd be trying to pet the bear while saying, oh, pet that dog. Maybe it's Cocaine Bear, Rover says. I don't know. I hope Jill and her friend have decided that maybe we'll just turn around. That just seems like tempting fate too much. Not that my fat ass would have been out there hiking and doing things that are good for me anyway. Hey, Jiggy. Good to see you, pal. Who was the wrestler that wrestled the bear? Look, fun. There's been a bunch of them because wrestling bears were a thing at county fairs for decades. I think the only reason they don't do them now anymore is a lot of animal rights activists got annoyed, said the bears weren't being treated properly, but wrestling bears were a thing for years. No. Dimmy says, I just saw a guy drop a whole box of donut balls. Poor guy. Oh,
that would be unbearable.
That's sad. Oh, Sonic, stop. Unbearable. Yeah, that's a tragedy right there. A whole box of donut holes or donut balls, same thing. Oh, man. I don't like that. I don't even like hearing that. It makes me sad. SCP says,
He's
I
probably
think some
trying
gay
to
men
scare
still
us,
wrestle bears.
But we didn't even see any wild animals yet, except for squirrels. If we do see something really dangerous, we're turning back.
Good.
I also forgot we brought a bear spray,
That's
in
good.
case.
That's good. Yeah, that good. At least you're armed a bit then, Jill. That's good. Wow, I give you credit for doing that. A hike of that magnitude, holy crap! I can't even imagine. I get tired walking around Disney World, big fat ass that I am. Rover says, I don't think I could cope with that if it happened to me. Dropping your donuts? No, me either. I would cry. I would just sit there on the ground and cry and look all pathetic until somebody felt bad enough or thought I was ridiculously pathetic enough to go in and buy me new ones. Wolfpaw, forget the bear spray. My dumb ass would still want to pet the dog.
Bear spray? Is that like shark repellent?
Nothing is as strong as shark repellent. I mean, come on, Sonic. We all know that. I mean, Batman created it. Wolfpaw says, have you ever been on a horse? Sure. If so, what was the contact? Oh, many times. When I was a kid, I grew up in the country, and we had horses all the time when I was a young kid. Yep, been on a horse, tried to ride a bull once. That went well. He didn't want to be ridden, and he made it known. Yeah, ridden. I mean, not in years, but he used to ride horses all the time. Demi says he was eating them while walking and tripped on a curb. That's sad. I think everybody should post an F in chat just to pay respects to that guy's donut balls. It's not much that makes me feel sad right away, but we're onto it there. Brother Sergeant says, even as in Astartes, I'd weep at the loss of food. Yeah. Have your donut holes on the ground? There might be. Shh, put an F in chat. There might be worse things, but... that's so sad. Tentomon says, do you have any tattoos? I have 2 tattoos. Which one did I get first? This one. Let's see if I can get you an angle for it. That's my Super Troll. That is just because in my wrestling career I was known as Super Troll Curtis Candy. And my nephew is a tattoo artist, and I told him what I wanted the troll to look like, and he did all that just with his creative juices. And then I have this one because I love Notre Dame football and I despise USC. And this is the Notre Dame Leprechaun, the USC Trojan. And as you can see, the Leprechaun is choking him out. I wanted it to be the Leprechaun stabbing the Trojan in the head, but my wife intervened on that one and forcefully said she thought it was a really stupid idea to put something that violent on my arm, and she'd rather I didn't do it. So my nephew and I grudgingly relented. Yeah, I just got the 2, Dimmy. I had thought for a while about
that
getting
shark
another,
exploded, so yeah.
now.
The no-kill rule clearly
Right?
doesn't include animals.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Because he hit that bitch with the shark repellent without a second thought. So you're right, Sonic. He don't care. Oh, excuse me, guys. Jill says, okay, we just talked to a lady that passed through. She said she also saw. Oh. But we're still going to keep going and see. Oh, Jill, you're making me uneasy. Oh, so sounds like the guy wasn't just saying that to put a little bit of fear into them. Uh-oh. What the hell? Yeah, bears can be sneaky, indeed. Keep that bear spray at the ready. I've seen Cartman use bear spray on people all the time, when he was Dog the Bounty Hunter. But I haven't ever seen it used actually against the bear. Joe wants to see if it's Winnie the Pooh, Look Fun says. Put an F in chat, yeah. Boy, I hope. Well, the thing is, too, that lady saw it and the dude saw it, and the bear apparently wasn't aggressive towards them. So hopefully it won't be aggressive towards our Jill. F in chat for Donut Ball Guy, 100%. Jimmy says, I'm getting a tattoo of AM. He's an AI from an old book called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Pete Villain. Really? That's cool. I thought about getting one more maybe on my chest. I was going to have a little pot of gold tattooed on my chest. And in the coins, I was going to put the names of my kids and grandkids. But I've gotten too old. Ocean Flame, we got to get out of here. Bears live in caves, and bears are crazy. Yeah, and Jeff put F donut. Yep. That's right. That poor guy. That's just... It's a lot of things can go wrong in your day, but dropping your donut holes, man. Whew. So a sagging pot of gold. Yeah, unfortunately, Chrome. Unfortunately. That is, as I get older, well, it's because I try and maintain that. it's funny. All my extra weight, and there's a lot of it, is from basically right above my belt line to midway down through my quads. It's really odd. My chest, arms, back, don't really carry a lot of weight. I've always had really, really big muscular calves just genetically. So my lower legs are still very hard and defined. But it's all in the center regions. So that's one of the reasons. The reason I bring that up is that's one of the reasons I was going to put on my chest, because at least to this point, my chest really hasn't taken too much of a beating from age and gravity. But I also train my chest every single day.
I don't think I'll ever get a tattoo. But if I were to, it would have to be something small. Thinking something like the brand of sacrifice from Berserk, or the mark of the Slayer from Doom.
Oh, that stuff, because I had always said if I was going to get a tattoo, I mean, some people I know get addicted to them, and they get a lot of tattoos I think that they just think are a good idea at the time. For me, it would have to mean something, and that's why I got the Super Troll, which, is from my wrestling career, and of course, I'm a fanatic for Notre Dame football, and a fanatic for hating USC, so that's kind of funny. Demi says, I kind of want to get a tattoo that just says tattoo. It's kind of funny. Oh, really, Wolfball? He says, I could never get a tattoo because I'm terrified of needles. My best friend, unfortunately, passed away a few years ago. Guy wasn't afraid of much of anything, but needles were his thing. Oh, yeah. The worst thing in the world to him was having to go to the doctor for whatever and having to get blood drawn. He would he wouldn't even be able to sleep the night before. And this is, like I say, this is a guy that wasn't afraid of much of anything, but the needles just got him. I always said for me, it would be asinine for me personally to be afraid of needles when I spent so much of my life taking a razor blade and cutting my own flesh. It's if you're going to do that, to say now I'm afraid of getting poked by a needle, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. that guy that just dropped his donuts. The funny thing is, he has no idea how many people are feeling bad for him.
But then I realized life hurts more than any needle does.
Correct. Well, I've told you guys this before. I don't like having what I consider an irrational fear. I mean, some things you should be afraid of, like a bear coming after you. Well, I could understand Jill being a little trepidatious about a bear coming out on her hike. But I had told you guys, I can't remember what it's called. I had always had that thing where looking at pictures of perfect groupings of circles would freak me out. I forgot what that's called. You guys will know. And then I got thinking about it. It's like, well, that's irrational. That's fucking stupid. Why do you care? And I looked at those pictures for a couple days straight. Every free opportunity I had, I would go on the internet and look at more and more and more of them, watch videos, anything like that. That's it. Trypophobia. Thank you, Rover. Because I didn't want to have it anymore. Now it doesn't bother me. I just insulated myself from it by looking at them over and over and over. I don't like having habits. I don't like being, obliged to any sort of habit, and I don't like having irrational fears. I had one time in my life I was betting horses a lot because I enjoy horse racing even aside from the betting. Well, at one point I got up and I realized every morning I get up and I'm thinking about going to the off-track betting to bet horses. It's like it's not even something I do for fun anymore. It's something I do because I feel like I need to, and I stopped betting horses. And I just cold turkeyed. I didn't bet them anymore. Now I will, but last year I probably bet twice. I just played the Derby, lost. I just played the Derby in May, and probably been a year prior to that I had ever played any before. Demi says, I don't mind needles as much, and I don't mind blood, but something about seeing my own blood pouring into a bag or a vial creeps me out. I think that's fair. It doesn't bother me, but I could see that being creepy to people. Jill says, oh, y'all talking about tattoos. Yeah. You didn't know I have my left arm tattoo similar to Ellie from Last of Us. Oh, do you? That's cool. I didn't know that, Jill. That's very cool. I didn't know that. Austin says, what was your first car you had and how old was you? What was the make and model? It was a 66 Chevy Impala. And, how old was I when I got it? I don't know. I'm trying to think what year it was. 17, 18, around there. Wolfpaw says, don't worry, Jill, I'm ahead of y'all petting that dog. Wolfpaw wants to pet the doggy. Yeah, a 66 Chevy Impala with a bench seat across the front. But I owned it in California, but it had been a Northeast car, so the front bolts were rusted out. And if the passenger wanted to be an asshole and flung themselves backwards, it would also fling me backwards and take my feet right off the pedals. That made for a lot of dangerous trips. 99 Mazda Protege, Dimmy? Wow. I had it 2 years ago after I platinumed the game 100%. That's cool. That's cool, Jill. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about with a tattoo. It's something that means something to you. You know, you had a game you loved and spent a lot of hours on, and now you got a memento. Those are the kind of tattoos I think are cool. You know, it's just like mine always make me think of either Notre Dame football or my wrestling career. I can't believe the doctor still hasn't been in to see Nene. I wanted her to be able to get home. God damn it. Yeah, still nothing. Shit. I never owned a Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, I had a friend who had one many years ago. Dimmy says, I drive a 1985 GMC Safari right now, not the safest, but she's gorgeous. That's old school. Yeah, that's cool. 40-year-old vehicle, that's cool. 85. Can't keep my ears shut. That might even be carbureted, is it, Dimmy? Carburetor in that? Or is it fuel injected? I can't remember. 2014 Jeep Liberty? I've never had a Jeep. Everybody says they're bears. Since we're talking about them, that they'll go forever, that they're tough. Austin says, what was the wrestler that got you into wrestling? I don't know if there's anyone that got me into it. My favorite wrestler as a kid, and to this day, still my favorite wrestler is Bruno Sammartino. And then
I did get a little creeped out by my own blood. But
Yeah?
It doesn't have much to do with hospitals taking my blood and more like, oh, fuck. What the fuck did I do this time? Where and how did I get hurt this time? Did I slash my arm open or something? Why am I such a spaz to not know how I got injured?
Yeah, it's funny how the things you experience in life, I think sometimes all the years of wrestling and all the brutal beatings, because probably in my career, I bled hard way. I'll bet you a good 30 to 35% of the time I bled, it was hard way. But it starts to dull your self-preservation senses. In that I got so used to bleeding, like you say, Big Green, if you're working on something or doing something and you don't realize you've hurt yourself, and I'll look down and you see that it's blood, and you don't even give it a second thought anymore. It's like, oh, it's blood, it stops. It's like, well, maybe you cut an artery or something. You should probably take a second glance at it. It is carbureted, Dimmy? I thought so. I thought they were still carbureted then. Oh, you just rebuilt it in the transmission? Yeah, that's back in the good old days when I could even work on my own vehicle. I don't even try anymore. Now, with everything the way it is, the technology the way it is now, I have no idea how to work on my vehicle. Back in the day, you did most everything yourself. Well, guys, I better head out. I'm gonna actually give my wife a call and see if if they've given her any idea of when the doctor will be there. I'm assuming he got called into an emergency or something, but I've been really, really anxious. I was hoping that we would end the stream because my wife and Nene were just about here, but I'll keep you guys posted because that's become my thing. There's the We'll Be Right Back. That's become my dream. I wanna fulfill those two things on my bucket list.
Goodbye, everyone. Remember you.
Hey, and Jill's still there. Jill threw plankton in at us. Jill, be safe. Be safe and have a good time. But I want to get my wife to Italy, and I want to get my old fat ass to Japan before I'm too old to do it. So maybe at some point, if it looks like it might become a reality at all, maybe I'll even start making some videos for the channel, just documenting. That might be fun, actually. Documenting the one bucket list item I have. That might be a fun thing to do. But yeah, I'm hoping it'd probably be at least a couple of years till I can get it all put together. Especially again with Brax's wedding coming up next year. But it's something I really want to do.
One of the most mysterious things that happened to me was when I was a kid. I was watching Gummy Bears or some shit, and my nose started bleeding for some reason. I never told Mom. I probably should have, but I was freaked out.
Some people are prone to nosebleeds. My cousin used to get them all the time. And I had a couple different friends as a kid who, when the humidity would change dramatically in the air, they would get nosebleeds. But my one cousin used to be prone to them a lot. The only nosebleeds I've ever gotten in my life, I knew what they were from, and it was always from somebody punching me. I've had plenty of those, but yeah, my cousin had them bad. You got a hand pay yesterday? Nice, Jeff. For those who don't know, hand pay in the casinos, that means he hit something, a game of some sort that was big enough they had to hand pay.
It was a random, once-in-a-lifetime occurrence.
Isn't that weird? That's odd. Must have just been something. You must have had just a perfect blending of circumstances at one point. Oh, Super Keno? Nice hit. That's cool. Burst blood vessel, that could be Chrome. Yep. Joe says, if we don't see that damn beer, we're having this milestone for a 5-hour hike. You'll have to get Jill, next stream, let us know. I'll be anxious to know how if you guys saw the bear or not. Please keep the bear spray at the ready just in case. All right, you guys, I gotta go. I'm gonna try and figure out what's going on with Nene and if I'm gonna get to have her come home today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me.
I was too excited
Thanks
about
for
the gummy bears.
conversations.
That was it. I loved that fucking show.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't. Yeah, if I'm bleeding, I'm not gonna. I'm with you. I don't care where the blood's coming from. I'm not interrupting a show I really enjoy or a snack I really enjoy just because I'm bleeding. Completely agree with you, pal. Yeah. All right, you guys. I will talk to you real soon. And again, thanks so much for hanging out with me.